Hello, my name's Sophie. Thank you so much for finding the time to join me today. I'm really pleased you managed to fit it into a day. And the idea of practicing meditation or finding mindfulness in our day-to-day can feel a bit daunting. So for today we're just going to aim for 10 to 15 minutes of quiet and calm and a chance to just connect with our breath and our body, and we'll start from there. We're going to start in what we would call a parallel. So toes facing forwards, feet about hip width apart. If you're more comfortable slightly wider or slightly closer, that's not a problem at all. Just find a nice stable base for you, somewhere that feels stable to start from. Check the space around you. Just check there's nothing on the floor that you might trip over or anything you might knock when you spread your arms to the side. We're not going to do huge movement in this session. We're mostly going to stay on the spot, so don't worry too much. You mostly just need about a metre square around you. Okay, if you need a moment to clear anything, just pause the video and set up your space and then we'll get going. Lovely, so for this first exercise, we're starting in parallel, as I said, and we're just going to start by generating a little bit of heat around the body. You can make this as intense or not as you like. I'll explain more as we go, but starting just rubbing the hands together, generating a bit of heat between the hands, finding that friction. You can rub into the back of the hands as well, almost like you're washing your hands. This is going to get our heart rate up a little bit and just make sure we're warm and ready to kind of move, find the breath and get going with the rest of the session. Rub this up into your arms. If you like working with imagery, you can think that you've got a brightly coloured paint on the hands and you're just spreading that around the body. You can keep this a bit slower and calmer, or you can really be quite vigorous with your body. You could also work with just squeezing, giving yourself a bit of a massage as well. We're going to go across the back, across the chest and the upper back, and then down the other arm. Really try and coat all those surfaces in that colour if that's the image you're working with, and if not, just make sure that you've got in contact with as much of your body as you can. Across the stomach, reaching into the back, into the pelvis, the hips and the bum. We're going to go down one leg. We're starting with the quad. If you're squeezing, you can be quite vigorous here, and you can also just wobble the muscle on the bone a little bit. Nice and gently over the knee, down the calf and into the ankle. If you're working in socks or barefoot, you can work with the foot a bit here as well. If you're in shoes, just sticking with the ankle and the calf. Coming back up the way we've come, let's switch over to the other leg. And you can use this as a moment to kind of check in with the body as well. Check where's a bit tight, or if there's any aches and pains. Let's nice and gently come into the neck and the upper back. And we're going to work into the face, so you might want to be a bit more gentle here. Give your jaw a bit of a massage. Often holds quite a lot of tension here. Into the cheeks, across the forehead. You can also work with some tapping of the fingers here, like raindrops over the face, just to sensitise the skin, wake up the skin of the face a little bit. Let's take that into the head. You can get your fingers in your hair and give yourself a bit of a head massage as well. Lovely, one more time with the hands and the arms. Anywhere that you think needs a little bit more attention. You can go down across the face, all the way down the body. A few times. Try and bring the breath in here. Last one. Drop the arms to your sides and just find a moment of stillness. Feel the echoes of the movement in the body. You might feel a bit of a buzz in your hands with the friction. You should notice that your heart rate is up a little bit. Now let's find the breath. So you can try working with breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or if you have another preferred way, just in and out through the nose or mouth, that's fine. Whatever feels most natural and full for you. Lovely. For our next little exercise, we're going to mobilise through the body a little bit, find a bit of movement all the way around the body. We're going to work with the breath again, so just find those nice deep breaths in and out with the movement. I'll give you some cues of where to pair the movement with the breath as we go along. So let's take a nice bend in the knees, rolling the shoulders backwards a few times. This time, as we slide the scapula, the shoulder blades down the back, reach the fingertips to the floor, all the way out to the sides, all the way up to the sky or the ceiling. Linking those hands together, we're going to breathe out as we reach over to the other side. Breathing in, coming through centre, breathing out to the other side. In through centre, we're going to push the palms down and forward, and I'm going to turn to the side to show you, but just stay where you are. You should be able to find this bowl curve shape in the upper back, and hopefully you'll find a nice stretch in the upper back here. You need to have a bit of a wiggle from side to side to get into those tight fits. That's absolutely fine. Reaching up to the ceiling with an in-breath. Opening the arms out and down, on and out breath. Let's repeat that one more time. So rolling the shoulders down the back, fingertips to the floor, out to the sides and up to the sky. Linking the hands, breathing out as we stretch to one side, up through the centre on an in-breath, and breathing out as we reach to the opposite side. Up to the centre again, pushing down through the palm, bending the knees to find that lovely curve in the body. Have a bit of a wriggle here. Reaching up to the ceiling again on the in-breath, opening the arms and breathing out as we bring the arms down to our sides. From here, bend those knees again. Try and keep the hips facing forwards, and we're just going to twist the spine. So really mobilising each vertebrae of the spine. Let the arms hang by the sides and let the head follow the spine naturally. Come back to centre, straighten those legs. We're just going to do what we call a roll down. So tucking the chin to the chest, dropping the head, letting the weight of the head carry you down as you roll down through the spine. Fingers reaching towards the floor. Try and keep your head relaxed here, so you can give it a bit of a shake or a nod. When you reach your lowest point that is comfortable for you, just take a few nice deep breaths there. If you want to bend the knees here to make this a bit more comfortable, that's fine. Try and release the tension from the back of the neck. Again, give it another little shake or a nod to check you're not holding any tightness there. Let's bend the knees, drop the pelvis towards the floor and roll back up through each vertebrae of the spine, leaving the head to last. Nice slow roll up. Lovely, very nice. Our next phrase, we're going to have a little nod to Tai Chi with the connection between the movement and the breath. So we just have 3 pairs of 2 movements, where one movement is connected with the in-breath, one is connected with the out-breath. Yeah, and we're going to repeat that cycle just 4 times through. Yeah? So, if you want to take your stance a little bit wider, and that bend in the knees a bit deeper, you can really indulge and make those movements a bit bigger. Yeah, so see where you're comfortable and how that works for you. Think about the weight falling through the feet as we work. We're going to bend the knees, spread and reach our arms out to the side on an in-breath, breathing out, bending the elbows and just gathering the hands together in front of our core. That's the pair number 1. Number 2, it's almost as if you're gathering a ball of energy up from your core. Yeah? So we pull up that energy to our chest, flip the hands over, and on an out breath we push away. Reaching, that's the second pair. The third pair, we're reaching around towards the back of our body, scooping, reaching up to the ceiling, and that is all on an in-breath. So that's the longest little section of movement that we have on one breath. And from here we're breathing out, pushing the energy back down towards the core, grounding ourselves again, dropping the arms. Yeah, so let's just do that 3 more times together. So breathing in and out, gathering the energy up to the chest on an in-breath, pushing it away on an out-breath, beginning the scoop, breathing in up to the ceiling, and pushing the energy down to our core on an out-breath. Again. That one more time. And out. One last time, pull up. Lovely, and you can repeat that cycle as many times as you like. You might find that the more you repeat it, the fuller and bigger those breaths can get. You can really slow it down and indulge in slowing down the pace of that cycle. Finally, let's come back to a parallel position. We're just going to do a very quick scan through the body. You can do this sitting down as well if you prefer, and if you're somewhere where you're comfortable and you have the space, you could also try it lying down. So, if you're comfortable working with your eyes closed, just let them gently close. If not, you might want to focus on a spot a couple of meters in front of you, or you can just carry on watching me or my background, whichever you want to work with. So, letting the arms hang by the sides, just think about the soles of the feet. We're going to work from the bottom all the way to the top. And think about how the weight falls through the feet, whether the weight is over one foot or over the other, or maybe slightly forwards or back. You don't need to change these things, just notice where the body is. Maybe it feels a bit different from how we started. Slowly scan up through the legs. Again, notice the temperature of the room around you, if there's any breeze or draft. Feel of your clothes against your skin. Scanning across the pelvis, across the abdomen, over the stomach and the chest and lungs. You want to take your hands to your centre, you can do. Just let them rest against the chest or the stomach. Really find that connection to your breath. And feel that you're breathing in a 3-dimensional way, so we often think about the breath as coming forwards and back. But it also obviously comes into the sides and into our back space as well. So really think about the 3-dimensional nature of the breath. Dropping the arms by our sides, scanning our way up the arms, noticing how they're feeling, where they're hanging from our body. Up to the shoulders, up through the neck, across the face. Again, think about the room, the temperature of the room you're in, how the air around you feels on your skin. Up through the skull and out the top of the head. If you have the time, you can repeat that scan through your body and just really check in and notice where you are after our little meditation moment. Have a little bit of a shake if you want to. Shake your body back into life a little bit. That's the end of our session for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to put some ideas at the end of this video, just type out some ideas for you, ways you can use these exercises throughout your day, throughout your week, and really find ways to slot them into your routine. Thank you again so much for joining me today. I hope you found something you really connected to, and were able to just connect with the body and the breath and find a moment of peace and calm for you. Thank you.